All right, strap in, everyone, because we're diving headfirst into some serious cybersecurity choppiness.
Yeah, the last few months, it's been a real roller coaster, you know.
Big name companies, leaks, the whole shebang.
Works.
And, you've seen the headlines, but we're going to go deeper here.
Oh, yeah. Way on the surface.
Give you the info you need to actually, stay safe out there,
Right, not just repeating what you already read.
Yeah, we'll make your data feel all safe and snug.
That's the goal.
So, first off, AnnieMac Home Mortgage.
Uh-oh.
Back in August, hackers got over 171,000 people's data.
Names, social security numbers, the classic combo.
Good.
This is exactly why, credit monitoring.
Oh, for sure.
Identity theft protection, huge after something like this.
Right, and I think they're offering it, right?
AnnieMac is, yeah, but honestly, I'd freeze your credit too.
Really? Go that far.
Extra layer, can't open new accounts without you knowing.
That's, more of a hassle, but...
Worth it for the peace of mind, no question.
True. Okay, so then there's Ford Motor Company.
This one's still a bit murky.
Yeah, they're not saying much.
Ford's keeping things close to the vest, which is frustrating, if you might be affected.
But what we do know is sensitive corporate stuff.
Potentially customer data, too.
And this is all, on the dark web now?
Evidence suggests so, yeah.
So industrial espionage and our privacy's at stake.
Could be both, and the silence from Ford just makes it worse,
Yeah, doesn't exactly inspire trust.
When companies don't come clean quickly...
people can't protect themselves.
Exactly. Swift and clear communication is vital here.
Transparency is, it's not damage control.
It's about giving people the power to act.
Take control of their own security. I like that.
Now, for a breach with international flavor... Maxar Technologies.
Ooh, space tech. That sounds serious.
Major player. And in early October, they confirmed a breach.
What'd they get?
Employee data, names, addresses, that sort of thing.
And the attack came from?
Traced back to a Hong Kong IP address.
This doesn't feel like just some random hacker.
No, this has the fingerprints of state-sponsored espionage.
Nation-states getting in on the action.
It's a growing trend. They target companies.
Especially ones in, important industries?
Exactly. Space tech definitely qualifies.
So not just about stealing info to sell.
This is about intellectual property, disruption.
Could be messing with infrastructure even.
Potentially, yeah. And that brings us to healthcare, always a target.
Right, that data is gold to these guys.
September, Great Plains Regional Medical Center, ransomware.
Over 133,000 people affected. That's rough.
Hospitals are prime targets.
Yeah, that data is valuable. Plus the pressure to get systems back up.
Makes them more likely to pay, which is what the attackers want.
The thing is, no one's claimed this one yet.
That's unusual, adds another wrinkle to it.
Trying to stay under the radar, maybe?
Makes you wonder what their end game is.
Okay, so this one's a bit different. Microsoft 365.
But not a breach in the traditional sense.
No. What happened then?
Attackers figured out how to use the, get this, admin portal.
Microsoft's own tool.
To send out sextortion emails. Can you believe it?
So it looks legit coming from Microsoft itself.
Exactly. They hijacked that trust to make their scams more believable.
That is devious.
People let their guard down when it seems official.
So can't just look for dodgy emails anymore.
Gotta question the source itself. Be extra cautious.
Especially with anything asking for sensitive stuff.
Speaking of sensitive, the Library of Congress got hit.
No way. What could they possibly want there?
Hackers got into emails between congressional offices and library staff.
Time frame.
January to September this year, so a while.
That's a lot of potential political intel, right?
Legislative strategies, who knows what else. It's concerning.
Then there's iLearning engines, AI training software.
They lost $250,000, straight up.
Not data theft. This was financial.
They got into their systems, did fraudulent transactions.
So they're weaponizing the financial side now.
It's a shift. Got to protect not just data, but the money itself.
Okay, deep breath, everyone. Time for our cybersecurity weather report.
Think of this as your heads up on what's brewing.
First up, Apache HertzBeat.
Vulnerability found. Could have exposed sensitive tokens.
Not super high severity, though, right?
No, but it shows even small things can have consequences.
So stay vigilant, even with the little stuff.
Next, Zoho Corp ManageEngine ADAudit Plus.
Oh, that sounds more serious.
High-severity SQL injection vulnerability.
I'm not going to pretend I understand all
Basically, it gives attackers a way to mess with databases.
Steal info, that kind of thing.
Exactly, and these techniques are getting harder to block.
So anyone using that software, patch ASA.
No delay on this one, yeah. Now, this one has everyone on edge.
Get me with it.
Citrix Virtual Apps and Desktops, 0-day vulnerability.
0 day, that means.
No patch yet, and it's actively being exploited.
Oh, that's bad.
And it allows remote code execution.
Meaning?
They can take control of your system.
Yikes, companies must be scrambling.
It's a race against time to fix this before it's widespread.
And to make things worse, their session recording feature.
Which lots of businesses use, relies on a vulnerable function.
So attackers could get those recordings too.
Potentially, yeah. Makes this even more critical.
Okay, last one. Let's hope it's not too bad.
Cinetype Nexus Repository Manager. Double whammy.
2 vulnerabilities.
One's remote code execution again, and the other's cross-site scripting, so 2 ways in.
That's what I call a cyber perfect storm.
It highlights why layered security is so important.
Can't just rely on one thing.
Multiple defenses for different attacks.
Makes sense. All right, let's take a breath. Special reports time.
This is where we dig into the trends keeping us up at night.
Right. What's got the experts worried?
DocuSign phishing scams, for one.
Phishing's not new. What's special about these?
The audacity, they're impersonating government agencies.
No more "you want a cruise" emails, huh?
These are sophisticated official logos, language, even spoofed addresses.
So they look like the real deal.
And they know people trust government stuff more.
How do we spot these then?
Scrutinize the email, look for misspellings, weird domains.
Hover over links, right, before clicking.
Exactly, and watch for urgent requests, pressure tactics.
So slow down, double check, don't panic.
A healthy dose of skepticism is your best friend.
All right, next up, ClickFix attacks. That name is creepy.
And fitting, they exploit our urge to fix things.
Like when you see that engine light on your car?
Perfect analogy. You just want it gone, even if you don't know what it means.
Cyber criminals know that, right?
They play on that fear, create fake error messages.
Stuff that looks like real software warnings.
Microsoft Word pop-ups, Windows system alerts, very convincing.
So you click to fix it.
That's the trap. It runs malicious code.
So it's not fixing anything, it's letting them in.
Sneaky. Right. Be wary of anything unexpected, unsolicited.
Especially if they're pushing you to act fast.
Check the source, look for inconsistencies, verify.
Better safe than sorry, especially online.
Exactly. Little skepticism goes a long way.
Well, that was a whirlwind, part 1 of our deep dives.
And we're just getting started.
More to come next time. Stick with us.
Welcome back. We're picking up right where we left off.
ClickFix attacks those sneaky little things.
Yeah, wolves in sheep's clothing, looking all helpful.
But really, clicking those buttons is trouble.
Exactly. They abuse our trust in error messages, warnings.
And that's what makes them scary. It's not just bad links anymore.
It's questioning the things that seem like they're helping us.
So any specific examples folks should watch out for?
Oh, tons, but a classic one, fake Microsoft Word pop-ups.
Okay, I can see that happening.
They're working. Suddenly, message pops up, issue with the file.
And it looks real, right?
Oh, Microsoft branding, language, the whole 9 yards.
Makes you panic.
Click to repair, but nope, that triggers a script.
Letting them in the back door, essentially.
Exactly, and it could be anything, even like Windows alerts.
Oh yeah, those system warnings.
Critical security issue, run a scan, but it's all bogus.
Playing on our fear of something being broken.
Exactly. We react emotionally, not logically.
So how do we not fall for that?
Skepticism, any unexpected message, especially urgent ones.
Don't just click no matter how bad it seems.
Exactly. Take your time, check the source, any misspellings.
Then what, cross-reference it with like official websites?
Exactly. If you're not sure, contact the software people, your IT.
Like measure twice, cut once, but for clicking.
Haha. I like that. Verify twice, click once.
Okay, enough doom and gloom. What else is on the horizon?
AI-powered attacks. This is where it gets interesting.
Oh yeah, AI's everywhere these days.
And cyber criminals are using it. Defenders, too.
So it's an AI arms race now.
You could say that it's changing the game.
How are attackers using it, for example?
Phishing's a big one. They're already good at convincing emails.
But AI makes it, what, even more targeted?
Personalized messages, they analyze your data, social media.
Our digital footprint comes back to bite us.
Basically, they tailor the message to your interests, vulnerability.
That is creepy.
And it gets worse. Deep fake, audio, video. Imagine that in a scam.
Deepfakes for phishing, that's wild.
It's blurring the lines between real and fake big time.
What else can they do with AI?
Automation. Attacks used to be manual, slow.
Now it's what? Set it and forget it.
Kind of. AI can scan for vulnerabilities, exploit them, spread malware.
Self-driving cyber attacks, basically.
In a sense, yeah, and that makes them harder to fight.
This is all pretty alarming. Any good news here?
Thankfully, yes, defenders are using AI too.
So fighting fire with fire.
Exactly. Better threat detection, automation on our side too.
So it's a back and forth. Who uses it better?
Constant cat and mouse game. Gotta stay ahead of the curve.
Sounds like the future of cybersecurity depends on AI.
It's gonna play a huge role, that's for sure.
Okay, stepping away from AI for a sec. Ransomware?
It's a constant threat and getting worse.
What makes it so bad?
They hold your data hostage, encrypt it, demand payment.
Digital extortion, basically.
Exactly. And it works because we're afraid of losing our data.
Photos, documents, everything's on computers now.
And they know that, exploit that fear.
And it's not just individuals, right?
Businesses, organizations, bigger targets, bigger ransoms.
Nightmare scenario.
Highlights the need for backups, strong passwords, the whole 9 yards.
And training, so employees know what to do.
Cybersecurity is a team effort.
Speaking of teams, Lockbit's been making headlines.
Ransomware as a service, they give the tools to others.
Like a cybercrime franchise.
Basically, and a very successful one, unfortunately.
They've been busy. What makes them stand out?
Aggressive tactics, sophisticated encryption, big targets.
Not messing around, so how do we protect ourselves?
Keep systems updated, patches, fix those vulnerabilities.
So don't ignore those update notifications.
Never. Strong passwords, multi-factor authentication.
Good advice for everyone, really.
Absolutely. And backups, crucial if you get hit.
Your insurance policy against data loss.
Exactly. Better to have it and not need it.
That's for sure. Well, this has been a lot to digest.
And there's more to come.
Stick around for the final part of our deep dive. Welcome back for the final leg of our cybersecurity journey.
It's been quite a ride, hasn't it?
ClickFix, AI, ransomware. I'm ready to unplug and move to a cabin in the woods.
I get it. The temptation is real.
But let's be honest, we're all glued to our devices these days.
Technology is interwoven into our lives. There's no escaping it.
And as we rely on it more, cybersecurity gets even more important.
It's a constant evolution. The stakes keep rising.
So where do we even go from here? It all feels so overwhelming.
That's the challenge, isn't it? And there's no one-size-fits-all answer.
But I think you mentioned earlier, a mindset shift is needed.
Exactly. We got to stop seeing this as just a tech problem.
Because it's not just for IT folks to handle anymore.
Nope. Cybersecurity is a human problem now. We're all part of it.
So it's not enough to just have the best firewalls, antivirus, all that.
Those are important, the foundation, but
the weak link is us, humans.
we're predictable. We make mistakes. That's what attackers exploit.
So raising awareness, education, that's key.
Absolutely. Create a culture where everyone understands the risks.
Empowers them to make better choices online.
Exactly. Cybersecurity is everyone's responsibility.
Okay, so practical steps. What can people do right now to be safer?
Password hygiene. Can't stress this enough.
Yeah. Strong passwords, we hear it all the time.
But people still use password 123. It's mind-boggling.
And multi-factor authentication, right?
Wherever you can, adds an extra layer of protection.
And while we're at it, phishing emails.
Be super wary. Anything suspicious, don't even open it.
Speaking of things we tend to ignore, software updates.
I know they're a pain, but
But essential.
they fix vulnerabilities. Those are what attackers use.
So those little pop-ups, don't just dismiss them.
Click that update button. It might save you a headache later.
Okay, so that's basic hygiene. But what about the scarier stuff?
AI attacks, ransomware, that level.
Makes me want to curl up in a ball and hide.
I hear you, but the answer there is layered security.
Multiple defenses, so if one fails, others hold the line.
Exactly, like on top of the basics, a good antivirus.
Okay, that's a given. Anything else?
Firewall's essential, and consider a VPN too.
A VPN. I've heard of those, but not sure what they do.
Virtual private network. It encrypts your connection.
Like a tunnel for your data, so no one can snoop.
Basically, especially useful on public Wi-Fi, airports, cafes.
So, not a magic bullet, but adds another layer.
Exactly, makes it harder for attackers.
All right, now, what about businesses? What should they be doing?
A full-blown cybersecurity strategy is a must-have now.
You're not just winging it anymore.
No way, this needs planning. From tech to people to processes.
Sounds like a lot to handle.
It is, but break it down. Technical side, you need strong controls.
Firewalls, all that good stuff.
Intrusion detection, encryption, make it hard to get in.
And the human side, employee training.
Huge. Everyone needs to know the basics. Spot phishing, good passwords.
Report anything fishy, right? Be proactive.
Create that culture of security. Everyone's responsible.
And you mentioned incident response, like a plan if something happens.
Because no matter how good you are, breaches can still occur.
So you got to know what to do when it hits the fan.
Contain the damage, recover data, communicate clearly.
Like a fire drill, but for cyber attacks.
Exactly. Preparation is key to minimizing the impact.
Okay, so we've talked individuals, businesses. What about the government?
They have a big role to play, both protecting their own stuff.
And working with the private sector. Right.
Exactly. Got to have collaboration, information sharing.
What are they actually doing, though, concretely?
Investing in research, setting standards, regulations.
Trying to level the playing field, make things safer overall?
And working with other countries. Cyber threats are global.
Sounds like a lot of moving parts.
It's a constant effort, always something new to address.
But at least they're taking it seriously, right?
More and more, the awareness is growing.
That's good to hear. Now, before we wrap this up,
That mindset shift you mentioned, it bears repeating.
it's not just tech, it's us, humans, that need to change.
Stop thinking someone else will handle it. We're all in this together.
Education, awareness, taking responsibility.
Exactly. Give people the knowledge, the tools to protect themselves.
That's what we've tried to do here, give you the information.
And hopefully a sense of empowerment, not just fear.
Well said. This has been a lot to take in. Thank you for guiding us.
My pleasure. Remember, knowledge is power in this game.
Stay informed, stay vigilant, and stay safe out there.
Absolutely. We're all in this together.
And that's a wrap on our deep dive, folks. Thanks for joining us.
Until next time, everyone.